Ancient calendars were generally based on the beginning of a ruler's reign. For example, the third year of Hammurabi's rule. Most people today use the Western calendar, also known as the Gregorian calendar, for everyday purposes. About AD 525, a Christian monk named Dionysius Exiguus marked the year Christ was born as 1. AD refers to anno Domini, a Latin phrase that means the year of the Lord. The years before the birth of Christ are numbered backward from his birth. The year before AD 1 was 1 BC, or 1 year before Christ. When referring to dates before the birth of Christ, the higher the number, the earlier the year. Since we mark years from a set point known as 1, there was no year 0. 3500 BC was more than 5500 years ago. Non-Christians often use the term CE in place of AD. CE can refer to Common Era, Current Era, or Christian Era. BCE can describe the era preceding the Common Era. This can also mean before the Current Era or before the Christian Era. Most people use the Western calendar today, but other calendars are used for cultural and religious purposes. The Islamic calendar is based on the cycle of the moon, so it is 10 or 11 days shorter than the Western calendar. The first year of the Islamic calendar is the year the Prophet Muhammad and his followers migrated from Mecca to Medina. On a Western calendar, this is AD 622. The Hebrew calendar is used for Jewish religious services. The Hebrew year 5774 began at sunset on September 4th, 2013. Years are marked AM on the Hebrew calendar for a Latin phrase that means the beginning of the world. The Chinese calendar is used for festivals and holidays in many East Asian nations. In the Chinese calendar, most of 2013 was known as the Year of the Snake. On Western calendars, there are 10 years in a decade, 100 years in a century, and 1,000 years in a millennium. This is considered the 21st century of the Common Era. The first century began January 1st AD 1 and lasted to December 31st AD 100. On December 31st, 1999, many people celebrated the coming of the new millennium. But the millennium did not end until December 31st, 2000. We also use terms such as era or epoch to describe periods of time. A geologist is someone who studies how the Earth has changed, and for a geologist, an era might last millions of years. For our purposes, an era will be any significant period of time. For example, you might be in the middle school era of your life. You may have seen photographs of people wearing different styles of clothing that reflect the era when the pictures were taken. An epoch is a particular moment that marks the beginning or end of an era. Your 13th birthday is the epoch that begins your teenage years.